everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from Sacred Soul Empowerment, here with my new monthly Empowered Moments video for the month of July 2023. So for this month's Empowered Moments video, we're going to be using the Tarot of Dreams. I know this is a little different because on my monthly readings, I normally use the Syrian Starseed Tarot. And without even thinking about that, I was gravitating towards this deck and I started pulling cards, and then it dawned on me, hey, I usually use the Syrian Starseed Tarot, and Spirit said, no, we're going to use the Tarot of Dreams by Ciro Marchetti for the main message for everyone. So that's going to be very interesting. The special message card this month, depending on your stone of choice, is going to be coming from the Work Your Light deck by Rebecca Campbell. I haven't used this deck for a little while either, so we'll see what comes out of that one as well. So we're in a brand new month and a brand new energy, right? So before we get into the numerology vibration, the astrological transits of significance, or even your stones of choice for that special message card, let's do an empowered moment. So if you can get comfortable in your seats, feet flat on the floor if you can, with your legs uncrossed, your arms uncrossed, close your eyes, relax your body and clear your mind of all thoughts. Focusing on your breath and breathing in unconditional love, light, compassion, healing energies. And as you exhale, letting go of all that your body, mind, and soul no longer needs. And one of the highlights this month is that Venus, planet of love, goddess Aphrodite, is going to be moving into retrograde motion in Leo the Lion. So Venus, again, we said she's about love, she's about relationships, she's about personal resources like money and finances, time, talents. She's about our values, what we value, who we value, and how we value ourselves. So she rules self-value and self-worth. Again, this is goddess energy. So as she turns retrograde this month, all of those things that she rules over is taking a shift, turning within, so that we're reflecting, we're reviewing, we're looking within at the goddess within ourselves. And she's in Leo right now. Leo is about how we shine our light, creative self-expression, confidence, courage, right? Leo the Lion. Take a deep breath and breathe in that idea of Venus, Aphrodite, goddess of love, and Leo the Lion, the confident lion. And as she turns retrograde this month, we're going within to find our inner self-confidence, our inner courage, our self-worth, our inner sense of self-value. We're going within to find that strong, bold, divine feminine energy, goddess energy within ourselves. So set the intention for this month that you connect with that inner goddess, that inner divine feminine, that inner strength, courage, and confidence. Breathe that in deeply into every cell of your body. And as you exhale and in your own time, you can open your eyes, returning to this time and place and space. And let's go ahead and look at your stones of choice. So I must have been in a real peachy mood because all these stones are peach something. So I was definitely gravitating towards that kind of soft, nurturing, feminine energy of Venus. Venus Aphrodite, the divine feminine. So our first stone of choice is peach moonstone. The peach moonstone is a stone of happiness. And this is a stone that helps to soothe our emotional body. It enhances creativity, and it also helps us with the connection between our heart chakra and our solar plexus chakra. Perfect for Venus and Leo, right? Venus, the heart chakra, love, and the solar plexus chakra, she's in Leo, confidence, courage, leadership, and take charge energies. So this is a perfect stone for Venus in Libra, Venus in Leo. Okay. Stone number 2 is peach calcite. Isn't that beautiful? Peach calcite. This is protective, purifying, and grounding. It increases our creativity, imagination, prosperity. It increases our sense of self-confidence and self-expression. Also increases motivation and drive. So this again is peach calcite. And the last stone of choice is peach selenite. So peach selenite, this helps to heal old emotional wounds, transforms negativity of any kind to love, forgiveness, and acceptance. The peach selenite also enhances our discernment and helps to clear mental blockages. And this also is a stone that helps us to connect with our higher soul self. So again, our stones of choice for this month are the peach moonstone, the peach calcite, and the peach selenite. Okay, so we'll put those aside here, and let's talk about the numerology vibration of the month of July. So we are now in a 14 universal month, right? Because July is the 7th month of the year, and we're in a 7 universal year for 2023. So we're going to add 7 and 7, and we're going to get the 14. Now the 14 is one of the 4 karmic numbers in numerology, and it relates to the temperance card. So again, I usually show the Syrian Starseed Tarot version, but since we picked up the Tarot of Dreams, we're going to show you the temperance card from the Tarot of Dreams here. It has a beautiful angel here, and temperance is often about balance and moderation. Balance and moderation. So those are going to be key words for this month of July. To stay in a state of balance and to not go into extremes. Now, whether that's extremes in your actions or extremes in your feelings, extremes in your communication, we want to stay in a place of this kind of temperance or moderation as we move through this month. Also, temperance, you can see she's holding a kind of a disc of fire up here, up above, and there's a disc of water down here, and the rainbow is actually connecting the fire element and the water element. So part of temperance, and this is shown more so in the Syrian Starseed Tarot version of temperance, which is called alchemy. So this is about alchemy, right? Fire and water usually don't mix well because water puts fire out, or water can turn fire into steam, or vice versa. So we have this alchemizing effect here where we're taking 2 very different elements and we're merging them together to create something new, something different, something wonderful, something beneficial because it's connected by a rainbow. So we're taking 2 different aspects of our lives, 2 different aspects maybe within relationship and the partners that have various aspects, 2 different energies within a situation that we're in, 2 different elements or energies within ourselves that don't seem to go very well together, but we're putting them together and we're again creating something new. We're going through a process of kind of like divine magic and alchemy to produce something different, all with the sense of patience, temperance, moderation. Okay, now this is a beautiful angel, and this card is actually ruled by Sagittarius. So Sagittarius sometimes can go into extremes. So let's go into the extreme of inspiration, creativity, optimism, creating a far-reaching future or vision for our future. That's what Sagittarius rules. So rather than going into an extreme with your emotions or an extreme in your actions, we're being asked to kind of go into this more positive sense of the Sagittarius energy with, again, expanding into the larger vision, expanding into the larger perspective, and then using patience and moderation to, again, create something beautiful, create something new. And the angel definitely here is symbolic. The angel is behind you. And I also noticed that we have a moon back here, and it looks like the phase of the moon where we're nearing the new moon. This is like the dark of the moon starting to happen here. So this is right before the new moon, and we're going to give you the date of that in a minute. Here is when the new moon this month occurs. So I want to say that maybe something significant regarding the vibration of this card may happen just prior to the new moon that we're going to have this month. So that's the vibration from a tarot perspective. Again, from a numerology perspective, the karmic number 14 means a similar thing as far as temperance and moderation. Sometimes there can be a lot of nervous energy, anxiety energy that we have to temper and moderate with the number 14. There can be past life or karmic issues regarding freedom and liberation, or setting yourself free from something that comes up with the karmic number 14, and hence during this month of July. So let's talk about the astrological transits of significance. The first thing is on July 3rd, we have a full moon at 11 degrees of Capricorn. So full moons are a time of completion. It's a time where the energies are expanded, and we're expanding that emotional energy in the realm of Capricorn, which is very different than what the moon is used to. The moon is about our emotions, our emotional nature, our emotional body, nurturing, caring for family, other people that we care about. And Capricorn's all about business, career, life purpose, life path, status, respect, working towards a goal. So it seems kind of odd, right, to put that full moon emotional energy in the sign of Capricorn, but it's expanding that energy as far as our life purpose, the goals, the steps that we need to take towards our goals and our purpose. That energy can expand around the full moon time, so that something again may occur with career, work, life purpose, life path, gaining some sort of status or respect, being seen out in the world for who you are. Those are things that maybe possibly could be a theme that's happening in your life. The next thing of significance is on the 10th of July, where we have Mars, the warrior planet, planet of energy, action, forward movement, leaving the sign of Leo. And Mars is a fiery planet, and Leo is a fire sign, so he liked being in Leo for, a few weeks. Now he's going to be moving into Earth sign Virgo. So it's going to be a lot different flavor here, where Leo is shining your light bright for all the world to see, and it's the actor and actress of the zodiac and look at me world, and Mars was putting his energy into that Leo-ness, that leadership energy. Now he's going to be filtering his energy, his forward movement, his actions in the mental realm of Virgo. And Virgo is about thoughts and perceptions, and it's about details, paying attention to details. It's about using discernment, analyzing things, picking them apart to try to make sense of them. So Mars can be very particular. It can get a little kind of frustrated, because Mars is this buildup of raw energy, right? And in the mental realm, it can come out as anxiety, nervous tension, or frustration. So instead, we want to shift that to the positive aspects of Virgo, where it's, again, using logic, using your analyzing capabilities, using discernment to make decisions or make choices in your life, And again, taking care of the little things, taking care of the little details that need to be taken care of in any aspect of your life. On the 11th, the next day, Mercury is going to be leaving Cancer and moving into Leo. So now we've got a new planet shifting into Leo, and that's again the ruler of the mental realm. Thoughts, ideas, perceptions, and communications can now have this more light-filled, creative, self-expression sort of energy dynamic, right? So we've got big, bold, confident expressions in our communication, or big, colorful, creative ideas that are coming to us. And Mercury is going to be in Leo until, what did I put down here? The 28th of July. So it's actually going to make another sign shift before the end of July. And the next thing of significance is on July 17th, we have a new moon. Here's that new moon at 24 degrees of Cancer. So remember, this card looked like something happening just prior to the new moon, as the moon is becoming into its like dark waning phase here. So 17th is the new moon. So let's say about mid-month, right? We're looking for maybe a situation to where we have to have patience and moderation in some way, shape, or form. And that could be definitely an all-month kind of thing, but maybe it comes to a head just prior to the new moon. So new moons are about new beginnings, and the new beginning is in the realm of home, family, nurturing, caretaking, emotions, how we're feeling, because that's the sign of Cancer and what it rules. On the 22nd, we've got Venus going retrograde. So this is what we did our meditation on. This, to me, is the highlight of the month, because Venus, with its retrograde motion, ends up staying in the sign of Leo for a total of 4 months. By the time it's all said and done, the last day it spends in Leo is October 8th. So now it's beginning its retrograde motion at 28 degrees of Leo, going all the way back to 12 degrees of Leo before it turns direct in September. So again, Venus, love, relationships, money, finances, values, self-value, self-worth, goddess of love, turning her energies inward, researching, reviewing, reanalyzing, revising certain situations in those realms of what she rules. Also on the 22nd, we have the sun moving into Leo. So it's moving out of Cancer. It's joining Mercury for a few days anyway in the sign of Leo. The sun will be in Leo until August 23rd, which is its typical time every year of spending in Leo. So we're shining the light now through self-expression, creativity, leadership, generosity, and opening that heart chakra, expanding that heart chakra in the idea of unconditional love rather than conditional or just ego-based love. The very next day on the 23rd, Chiron turns retrograde. So this is kind of a close second to Venus going retrograde. Chiron is the wounded healer, rules past life wounds, past life karmic situations and circumstances. And it's going retrograde at 19 degrees of Aries. Chiron is moving pretty slowly these days. So we're going to be feeling this probably a couple of weeks prior and maybe up to a week after its actual turning retrograde on the 23rd. So it's maybe bringing up wounds regarding your sense of self, self-confidence, self-identity, independence, leadership, because that's what Aries rules. And then we're going to end the month, or at least the transits that we're going to talk about, we're going to end on the 28th of July with Mercury making another sign shift into Virgo, which is one of his home signs. So Mercury, as it goes into Virgo on the 28th of July, is going to be much more at home with logic and analyzing and discerning and looking at the details and picking things apart. So let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides. And there was a lot of cards that wanted to come out of this deck, Tarot of Dreams here. So the first card is 2 cards, the second card is 1 card, and the third card comes out as 2 cards. So the first of the first 2 cards, we start with the 4 of Swords. Four of Swords. Now, it's ruled here by Jupiter. This is the glyph for Jupiter in Libra. So Jupiter is about our belief systems, about our philosophies of life, how we see the big picture, and again, our belief systems. And it's in the sign that rules relationships and partnerships. So that definitely sounds like a thing that Venus is also ruling, right? Venus rules love and relationships. Jupiter in Libra here is asking us to look at our belief systems when it comes to relationships. Libra wants balance. Libra wants equality. Libra wants compromise. Libra wants things to be fair. So we're looking at our beliefs about what we perceive as fair within our relationships. Is there equality in our relationships? And this is relationships of all kinds, right? So we're looking at the big picture, because Jupiter is about the big picture of relationships. And the Four of Swords typically is a card about resting. It's about taking a little bit of a rest, right? You can see this person here is kind of putting his head down, kind of like he's going to take a little nap and take a rest. And you can kind of think of that as far as Venus going retrograde this month. Venus in retrograde, she's not taking a nap, but she's definitely in this period sort of inner rest and contemplation, which is what this card is about. We're talking about inner contemplation, self-reflection. Maybe there's been something going on that's been a little challenging in weeks or months past, that we need to just take a little bit of downtime. And as we're taking that little bit of downtime, as we're able to take that little breath and rest, we're able to kind of look a little bit more at the bigger picture of what's going on in our relationships, what we want in relationships, the part that we're playing in relationships, or the relationship dynamics that are being experienced. And that's what this card to me is all about. Let's go ahead and see what came out with this card. Okay, this card is the 10 of Coins. This is like the 10 of Pentacles. So interestingly enough, the 10 of Pentacles, or the 10 of Coins here, it's ruled by Mercury in Virgo. And we do have Mercury going into Virgo at the end of the month, right? And again, Mercury is our mindset, our thoughts, our perceptions, and even how we communicate. Virgo is analytical, logical, grounded, practical, down to earth, although sometimes it's a little vacillating because it's a mutable sign. So mutable means that there can be changes and kind of going back and forth and whatnot, not really being able to settle or focus on one thing or one decision necessarily. But Mercury in Virgo will use discernment. It will pick it apart, pick out all the little details, analyze them, try to understand them on a deeper level, and then use discernment when making a decision, or when needing to make a choice, or when needing to communicate something to someone. And I just heard pick your battles kind of pop into my mind. So pick your battles, right? Mercury in Virgo is going to use discernment. If there's an issue coming up in any kind of relationship, it's like pick your battles. This might not be a big enough thing to blow out of proportion and make something out of, right? Wait for something that's of real importance before you want to go in there and pick it apart and analyze it and kind of speak your truth and speak what you see to be your logical viewpoint. But when it comes out with the Four of Swords, again, this is the mental realm. Swords is the mental realm. Coins is the material realm. Coins can deal with job, career, money, finances especially. So whatever's going on maybe in relationships could have something to do with material stability. It could have to do with finances. This could also not necessarily be about a relationship with somebody else, but just your belief systems and perceptions regarding your value, right? Coins is about your self-value, which goes back to Venus in Leo going retrograde. And this is actually a good card. This is kind of the ultimate culmination of wealth and abundance and prosperity after we take a good practical down-to-earth look at things. So between these two cards, with Mercury and Virgo ruling this card, and this one being the Four of Swords ruled by Jupiter and Libra, it gives us the opportunity to, again, kind of like quiet the mind or expand our perception, pick things apart. We're really kind of going in and we're reviewing and reflecting and trying to analyze, whether it's a situation in a relationship or just a situation in our life. Maybe it's a money and financial thing that we're thinking about. Could be just something within ourselves about the next step on your path, whatever it might be. Give yourself that time to really have patience, moderation, to reflect on it, right? Don't hurry yourself. Don't push too fast, because Temperance ruled by Sagittarius, usually they want something like fast now, and they kind of like jump the gun, so to speak. But Temperance is saying practice moderation. Practice, kind of waiting for the process, the alchemization process to happen here. The second card is a major arcana. It's major arcana 0, the Fool, ruled by Uranus. Uranus is about freedom, liberation, change, redirection, something unexpected or even unusual happening. The Fool is the new beginning of something new on the path, or a new path altogether. This is about trust and faith as you step into the new, that you don't even know what it's all about, right? The Fool is usually seen as stepping off of a mountain and not looking down. He just like steps off the mountain, and he has trust and faith that he's either going to be caught by the angels on the way down, or he's going to be safe somehow by the time he gets to the bottom. He's going to land on his 2 feet, whatever it is. And this card is saying something similar here. It's like trust, have faith. You're stepping into something new, or you're being guided to step into something new or do something new and different, to redirect your life, like Uranus sometimes asks, to liberate yourself or free yourself from a situation or a pattern or a belief system, and just move forward. And it's interesting, I just noticed that we've got this rainbow here, just like this rainbow here, right? Rainbow in the Temperance card, and this rainbow in the Fool card. And rainbows to me symbolize hope, prosperity, abundance. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is blessings, some sort of blessings that come in the end of it all, right? If you follow the end of the rainbow, you find that pot of gold and the blessings. So know that whatever this process is that we're going through, whatever it is that you're experiencing in your life, there is a blessing at the end. And then the first of the last two cards, okay, Major Arcana 3 and the Empress, and yes, she is ruled by Venus, Aphrodite here. So the Empress is about giving birth to something, right? The Empress is usually seen, although it's not so apparent in this particular card, but she's usually seen as pregnant. She has a pregnant belly. She's ready to give birth to some new creative expression, right? And Venus rules that energy of the goddess. And here we have this cornucopia of abundance down here. You got the corn and the wheat and the apples, the fruit and vegetables here that symbolizes some sort of abundance, which the Empress is often about. She's about prosperity, abundance, blessings, and giving birth to something new. And she's got this, I don't know what she's got in her hands, but it looks like light. It's almost like she's holding light in her hands, but it might be some sort of fruit or vegetable that's highlighted. And again, it's like we're giving birth and creating this. It's like she's using her goddess powers to create this beautiful cornucopia of abundance and prosperity. And with Venus ruling our sense of self-worth and self-value, let's go inward and find that value within ourselves. Let's find that energy of worthiness and deservedness of this abundance and prosperity and these blessings that the Empress wants to give birth to in our lives. Work on the heart chakra. There's a lot of green in this card, and green can relate to the heart chakra, right? So we want to balance the heart chakra, heal the heart chakra of old wounds. Remember, Venus goes retrograde the next day Chiron goes retrograde. And Chiron rules soul wounds, and Venus can rule, again, our sense of self-worth and self-value. So with them both going retrograde within a day of each other, I'd say focusing on your own self-healing, your own heart healing of whatever these old wounds might be about is probably going to take precedence. Let's see what came out with the Empress. Okay, this is the Palace of Cups. Now, this particular tarot deck does something that other decks don't do. It has 4 additional cards in it. The Palace of Cups, the Palace of Coins, the Palace of Swords, and the Palace of, I'm going to say Wands, because I don't remember what they call the fire suit in this deck. But it's, those 4 Palace cards, what to me they mean is that we're looking at, in this case, we're cups and emotions, feelings, intuition, empathy, empathic abilities. So we're looking at the big picture. To me, the palace is the big grand picture of this suit. So we're looking at the big grand picture of our emotions and feelings and intuitions and ability to nurture and ability to be empathic, connected emotionally to other people. And she comes out with the Empress, the Palace. So again, we have Venus here, self-love, self-value, but also relationships and connections to other and partnerships. We're looking for the blessings. We're looking for, this wonderful cornucopia of gifts, abundance, prosperity. And to me, we're going to find it as we heal our own emotions. Go into your emotional body here, right? We're still, for part of this month, until the 22nd, we're still in Cancer season with the sun being in water sign Cancer. So that is all about emotions and feelings and intuition and home and family and caretaking and caring about, listening, learning, counseling. So heal those emotions, focus on those emotions to get to the birth of something new that can bring some sort of blessing or benefit. So that's some beautiful reading. Let's go ahead and take a look at the message from your angels and guides, depending on your stone of choice. So we'll give this a little shuffle here, and that first stone of choice was the Peach Moonstone, right? Peach Moonstone people. Peach Moonstone. This one's calling my attention. Peach Moonstone. It says mirror. You can see this person is looking kind of in the water here, and there's a mirror image of themselves down here in the water. At the bottom it says, who or what is triggering you? Who's being your mirror? Well, that's a perfect message for Venus, planet of love and relationships, going retrograde, right? So who is triggering you? What is triggering you? What's being reflected back at you through your romantic partnerships, your friendships, your family relationships, even maybe your business relationships or work relationships? Who or what is triggering you? Look at the projections that's occurring with you and the other people in different relationships that you have. If there's a challenge, if there's a frustration, if there's an emotional kind of reaction, look at that projection energy to see what's being triggered within myself. Why am I feeling like this? Do I feel unworthy? Do I feel like I'm not good enough? Do I feel angry at what seems to be a disempowerment or disrespect? So look a little bit deeper, right? This person's looking kind of deep into the water pool of their own psyche here and their own reflection. So look a little bit deeper at what is being mirrored to you within your relationships. Okay, and then for the peach calcite people, let's give this a little shuffle. Peach calcite. Okay, nothing's jumping out yet. I'm going to shuffle just another minute here. Peach calcite. This one's sticking up, calling my attention. Okay, so if you had a question in mind or if you were wondering about something, this is no. It says no, wait, okay? It doesn't mean no forever. It just means no for now. Wait, postpone, pause, and say no. And that's, again, another perfect message for Venus retrograde, especially if there's a relationship question going on. With Venus retrograde, it's probably not a good idea, just like when we have Mercury retrograde, right? Mercury retrograde, they say if you can hold off making a decision till after Mercury goes direct. Well, in relationship matters or financial or money matters, since Venus rules that too, if you can hold off until whenever it was in September that Venus is going back to direct motion before you make a decision, that's going to be best. So it's just saying to not take any action right now or to not make any decision right now if you can help it. Wait, postpone, pause, and just kind of hold back. Say no. We've got a storm cloud here in the background. We've got some lightning bolts. You know, this to me means maybe there's a little bit of a storm coming, perhaps. And maybe whenever it is that storm arrives or that storm comes, it might give you the answer that you're seeking. Right? It might give you, and maybe that storm isn't going to arrive until Venus turns back to direct motion. But right now, and this can too, it doesn't have to be something scary. The lightning bolts here can just mean change is on the way, right? The lightning bolt is sudden, unexpected, and it brings some sort of electrical charge to where it's like all of a sudden, right? Because Uranus rules that sudden and unexpected and rules lightning. So all of a sudden we have an epiphany. We have an aha moment and an epiphany with the lightning bolt. And then we know how we can move forward, how we can travel forward on the path. And this might even be, maybe you've made a decision about a relationship already, but you're not sure how you're going to move forward or, you know, what your next step is going to be. I'd say, again, wait, take a pause. The universe is going to bring something to you, and then it's going to give you some sort of clarity or aha moment as far as how to take that next step. All right, and then for those of you that chose the peach selenite people, special message for peach selenite. Okay, this one is calling my attention. Soul family. Well, doesn't that look like twin flame or soulmate relationships here? We got two people head to head. We got two dolphins here. We've got, is that two whales? Two whales or dolphins up here. It's like this very wonderful kind of image of soulmate, soul relationship, soul family. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic. And it says, call in your tribe. Oh, I just had a conversation with somebody today about, they were talking about, I'm looking for my tribe. I'm looking for my people. You know, I can't find them. So this is a perfect message for those of you that are seeking other people of like mind, seeking, you know, other friends or acquaintances, or maybe even, again, romantic connection with your soul family. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So maybe you feel alone right now. You're looking for other people to connect with. I'd say to call them in spirit first is what I feel, because it says you don't have to do it alone. Well, even if you feel like right now you haven't found your soul tribe or those significant people in your life that you can share friendship with or share more with, I'd say call them in on a spiritual level. Call them in meditation and visualization, or to come into your dream time first. And as you call them on a spiritual level, it will eventually, and maybe as Venus turns back to direct motion, it will call them in on a more earthly level as well. Okay? All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning into the monthly. Also, make sure if you're a first-time watcher that I also do the weekly Empowered Moments videos from week to week, so you'll want to tune in for the next weekly. Sending you all lots of love and light during this Venus retrograde cycle. We'll probably talk about her a little bit more in next month's reading, since she'll still be retrograde for part of the month. Until then, sending you lots of love, light, prosperity, abundance, magic, and blessings. Namaste, everyone.